Many people believe that success comes only from discipline, from focus, from hard work. They control their schedule, they build habits, they train their mind. And yet, even with all that, they still feel empty. Why? Because they forgot the most powerful foundation of all, their connection with God. They built goals without eternal purpose. They chased achievements with a starving soul. True order begins when we put God at the center, not as a spiritual accessory, but as the source of wisdom, peace, and direction. Putting God first is not weakness. It is inner strength. It is clarity. It is purpose with deep roots. And when you do this, everything changes. Your decisions become clean. Your focus sharpens. Your life aligns. Because when God comes first, everything else finds its place. Most people rely on self-sufficiency. If I plan better, if I work harder, if I control everything, I'll succeed. But life is uncertain. Storms arrive without warning. Doors remain closed no matter how hard you push. Paths that look right can end in emptiness. That's when the one walking alone collapses, and that's when the one who puts God first finds direction, peace, and meaning. With Him, you no longer walk blind. You no longer depend only on your strength. You rest in a higher purpose, a plan that sustains you even when you don't understand. The soul cannot be filled with numbers, with trophies, with likes. When you put God first, your definition of success changes. You no longer live to impress. You live to serve. You no longer compete with the world. You align with your mission. You stop chasing validation. You start pursuing purpose. Your goals no longer just benefit you. They build something greater than you. That's the difference between being exhausted by achievements and being fulfilled by meaning. Another clear sign is how you make decisions. Without God, decisions often come from emotion, from pressure, from ego. With God first, you learn to pause, to consult, to listen, to evaluate not only what is convenient, but what is right. Over time, that makes you trustworthy. It makes you stable. Because your life is not built on sand, it is built on rock. Ego is the biggest obstacle between us and wisdom. Ego says, I can. God says, with me, you can do more. Ego demands recognition. God teaches silent service. Ego wants to rise. God invites us to bow, to listen, to obey, not to humiliate us, but to strengthen us. Submitting ego is not losing dignity. It is gaining real power. Power that does not depend on applause, not on results, not on control. It is power born from humility and sustained by obedience. Putting God first also transforms relationships. Faith is not proven in speeches. It is proven in daily life, in patience, in forgiving quickly, in correcting with love, in listening when no one is watching. When God is at the center, your relationships stop being battles. They become bridges of grace, and leadership changes too. You no longer lead from ego, you lead from service. You no longer chase followers, you raise leaders. Your authority no longer comes from volume. It comes from coherence, from integrity, from example. Every minute is alone, not a guarantee. When God is first, you live with wise urgency, not anxiety. You say no to distractions. You say yes to what builds. Even interruptions take new meaning. A delay can be protection. A closed door can be redirection. A waiting season can be formation. Time stops being a race against the clock. It becomes a sacred opportunity to sow the right seed today without obsessing about tomorrow's harvest. Putting God first does not mean crossing your arms. Faith is not passivity. It is moving with direction. Even when you cannot see the whole staircase, it is sowing with diligence and leaving the harvest in His hands. It is planning with excellence, but staying willing to adjust when He guides. The sacred combination is this: faith and action, trust and movement, obedience and firmness. And that combination opens doors you could never open alone. The world defines success as accumulation, as climbing higher, as recognition. God defines success as faithfulness. Not how high you climbed, but how you climbed. Not how many follow you, but who you follow. The constant emptiness people feel, It's a sign they are chasing goals that do not belong to them. With God first, you stop asking, how can I get more? You start asking, is this part of my purpose? And that one question saves you. It saves you from noise. It saves you from ego. It saves you from wasting your life on what does not matter. Much of human suffering comes from not knowing who we are. If you define yourself by work, by looks, by achievements, or by opinions, you will always fear losing them. When your identity is in God, you stop trying to be someone. You remember who you already are in Him. That gives stability. You can lose money and remain whole. You can face rejection and still know your value. You can go through hard seasons and remain steady because your worth does not change. From that clarity, you choose differently. You protect your mind. You protect your habits. You protect your environment, not from fear, but from conviction. Because what you carry is sacred. When God is first, your legacy changes too. The world focuses on leaving material inheritance, but the true inheritance is eternal impact. The character you lived, the peace you carried, the integrity you modeled. At the end, your bank account won't remain. Your titles won't remain. Your followers won't remain. What will remain is your impact on people, your example in silence, your faithfulness in ordinary days. And if you lived with God at the center, then you lived well. If this message speaks to you, subscribe to the channel. Don't miss the next videos, and tell me in the comments, what area of your life do you need to put under God's control today? I'll read every response, because it is in the everyday decisions where we see if He is truly first. You don't need all the answers to begin. You only need to make one radical decision. Put God first. In your mornings before checking your phone, in your business before signing a deal, in your relationships before reacting. Make this simple prayer every day. God, show me the next step. Guide me. Correct me if needed, but don't let me move without your presence. And you'll see it. When He is in the right place, everything else finds its place. Your life will no longer be a desperate race. It will be a firm walk. You will no longer act from anxiety. You will live from peace. And one day looking back, you'll realize everything changed the day you made the simplest and most powerful choice of all, to put God first, always first.